My name resides in no man's tongue, yet I know when I am called. And so it was on the fourth day past the rising of the slender moon, when I was woken from respite and hearkened to lowing grounds for matrimony of a king to his intended queen bride.
Did you ever feel like you were a part of something that wasn't yours? Well, that's me. My situation? Today's the big day. Except I'm not getting married. I'm getting wedded.
For unknown time I have dwelled in the high mountain caves, where I have served as keeper of the ancient sun.
Before I proposed, she said she was interested in a small affair, an immediate family, a couple of friends. And I put the ring on, and bam! 500 people, most of whom I don't even know.
It is a talisman of love, a song of eternal happiness, and all those who live inside of the mountain pray for its sounding at the marriage altar.
The planning for the wedding? Out of control. Flowers, centerpieces, chair coverings, dessert buffets, ridiculously expensive costumes that get worn once. The same planning as every wedding. You see, the problem was I wanted something special, something unique, something that was gonna be only me and her. So I told her, if we do the same routine as everybody else's wedding, then taking these vows is just going to seem, well, routine.
It was foretold by the stars, twinkling angels in twilight's disguise, who whispered to me that under the elm by the lowland shore, a royal wedding will take place, and my ancient song shall be sung.
So I said, music. You get everything else. Let me pick the music. And it won't be the same lovey-dovey songs that gives everyone that Hallmark Channel feeling. No. I want to give our wedding a touch of sizzle.
Bore by Moorish winds, I glide from the high mountain caves down to the lowland shores and creep among the reeds.
At the ceremony, the processional as we're walking down the aisle, this killer retro 70s group that my cousin started, Disco Funkenstein. And at the reception, I will book us the greatest Trip Zydeco rap ensemble the world has ever heard. Music.
Half the countryside stands by the raised dais. The king wears a crown of roses, and his bride stood feasthood in eternal white flax, the sun's iterant streaks brightening her cherishing smile.
Of course, the band she wanted was, are you ready? The Love Me Tenders. The same lovey-dovey band that everyone books for their wedding.
It is not known in Africa until called upon by the king himself. He turns toward the mountain, invoking their ritual prayer.
I realize that today's weddings are about the bride. I get that. But aren't marriages about the bride and the groom?
The king lifts his crown and reveals the monument to his paradox of a hopeful smile and a fearful eye. And there, by the river, half the countryside stands, petrified in awe, not knowing if my melody will forge matrimony.
So the ceremony went fine, with the same old sappy song played by soft organ. And at the reception, we got announced at the dance floor for the first time as husband and wife. While Wind Beneath My Wings played by Love Me Tenders. The women are tearing up, taking pictures. All my buddies are holding up their beers from the cash bar. Sorry. My wife and I start the first dance. The same old slow dance, the same old slow song that everyone gets as their first dance for their first wedding.
I would be stuck here on the ground. You're lighting up the way, I can see the road ahead of me. I won't be stumbling in the dark. Your eyes are shining like the stars. I was down until you saved me, until you set me free. My eyes were closed, now I see clear as day, and I just wanted to say that you can take me high. Feels like I can fly. You can take me high.
And that's when the whole thing happened.
It is a melody born beneath the African sands, stirred by the heat of desert and cooled by oceans, lengthened by two ends of the earth, and seasoned by centuries of stormy air.
This is going to sound crazy.
It is made by voice, yet not of voice. It communicates meaning, yet has no words. It has never before been heard, yet cannot be mistaken.
But I didn't hear the music from the Love Me Tenders. Instead, I heard what sounded like a melody. A woman's voice from inside my head. Another time, a different part of history. It was like nothing I've heard before.
The king begins to swear.
And I wasn't standing anymore on the Holiday Inn dance floor. Surrounding me and my wife was a petal of moonlight. All we could see was our feet contained by this moonlight, which was the first step of a bridge. And over the bridge is where the melody was coming from. Together towards the melody.
The wedding song is unweighted by devotion. It is a bridge to the chasm of discovery.
We arrived in the land of Bali volcano. The valley was littered with beautiful flowers and verdurous grass. At the basin of the valley sat a volcano, its peak emitting rainbows that tumbled down slippery rock, caressed the valley floor, and careened over distant hills. My new wife and I swam in its hot spring. We dried under fig trees, and when the cooling air caressed the valley floor, we borrowed heat from violins. This strange land with its eternal song. In the morning we rose to its verse, and in the evening we rejoiced to its chorus. And we began talking about things that had never before been spoken. My bride and I talked of hope and trust, of acceptance and dreams. We lived there for what seemed like many years.
But my melody cannot stay the same forever. The listener must be changed, or it loses all meaning.
As time went on, the melody changed, and we knew it was time to journey on. So my wife and I left the valley and climbed the crags of the volcano and walked towards its reaching rainbow. Through beckoning air, we ascended past prisms of ember, above cerulean clouds, till we arrived at a gleaming ship. On the deck of the sky ship, there was crystal creatures running about, speaking in breathless language of song. They called us aboard and welcomed us. Under the unfurling golden sails, the ship moved past us at higher dusk, settling its daily conflict with the ethereal horizon. Between sun and moon, drums beat below decks, and the ancient song began anew. My wife and I sing freely of tolerance and growth, of empathy and compassion, the emotions that make two people one. We were forever bound in a crusade of intimacy as the golden-sailed ship soared past the light in its passionate air that carried no temperature and was neither cool nor warm.
Song is manifested by unnatural labor. Its danger is to be only for itself.
We sailed under stars, and for the first time we saw infinite space. The shipment said that man and wife must not traverse the endless quantum of space, that to go there is to be lured by the rings of infinity, that man and wife must conquer in their own time. By now the melody became maddened. I begged the shipment, take us there, we must go there. So the sky ship broke from the earth clouds. Faster we sailed past distressful galaxies, drawn by the reckless force of nebular fires. The shipment pleaded that I must let go, but I could not. My wife's hand ripped from mine. As we entered the rings of infinity, the melody ended. The melody was replaced by a grotesque one, burnishing my ears with anger. I could not sing anymore. The ship broke apart, the golden sails torn by galactic maelstroms. Then screaming, all of us screaming, falling into darkness. I was falling. And then silence.
The king sways again, as if returning from a long voyage.
I was back on the Holiday Inn dance floor. My wife and I were holding each other. I sensed people around us, staring at us. But it was still only me and her.
If my song had words, it would be this.
Marriage is the song that never ends.
I leave the king to his new queen, and return to the high mountain caves, where I shall dwell until called upon again.
Each year on our anniversary, my wife and I make some popcorn, cuddle on the couch, and watch our wedding video. And each year, when we get to the part of our first dance, I turn up the volume. On screen, my wife and I hold each other close, swaying to the band. But I swear there's this one moment where the band goes silent, and I can hear, ever so faint, the routine of an ancient song that I shall never know of or sing again.